Hello to my kings, queens, and in-betweens. I am Valerie, and welcome to my channel, The Bookish Valkyrie. So it is May 31st, and the Amazing Readathon vlog is starting right now because the first prompt has been dropped, and it is read something that you didn't purchase. So I need to head over to the library and see what they have. If they don't have anything that will get me extra points, preferably a host favorite, then I will read the arc that I have of the queer principles of Kit Webb, because arcs count as something I didn't buy. So it'll be a reread, but honestly it's a favorite, so I would not be sad at all to start with Kit Webb. But we'll see what I can find at the library and check in again with you soon. Well, I struck out at the library. Small town, small library. I was surprised at the fact that I couldn't find anything really even on Libby. I definitely need to get myself some more library cards. I really expected there to be more than that. I don't know. I'll see what I can apply for. But that's for another day. So for the purposes of the first prompt, which is a book you didn't buy, I am going to be reading this uncorrected proof that I received as an arc for the queer principles of Kit Webb. I have read both this and the finished copy, and honestly there wasn't much difference between the two. But yeah, I will be revisiting one of my absolute favorites, and I'll tell you all about it as I go.
If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take a hit and still finish in one, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. Memory lane isn't that too far away from our hearts, yeah, yeah. The ones we keep close, we should never let go. So tell me who you love, baby. Take a moment to unwind, fix yourself and realign yourself with the world, baby. Breathe slow, baby, yeah. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow. We should breathe slow, we should breathe slow, we should breathe slow.
Hello, it is Sunday the 2nd of June, and I am about 100 pages away from finishing my reread of the queer principles of Kit Webb, but it looks like my team and Team Spooky have a detour task, so I need to take a picture of my current read with my pet. Alright, so I have officially finished reading my first book for the readathon, and that is The Queer Principles of Kit Webb. I was not sad to be picking this up again for the readathon. I wasn't exactly planning on starting with a reread, but that's okay. Chaos is the name of the game, and honestly, it really does fit my reading style. So I really love this book, and it did not disappoint on the reread. I still feel the same about this as I did the first time I read it, which is that I absolutely fucking love it. These are prickly and saucy queer men who snark and snipe at each other while falling in love, and I love it. They are soft boys despite how much they snark and snipe. Also a thing that I love. And as much as they try to hide it, I would say that each of these characters classifies as a cinnamon roll. If you are looking for a romance that does not have the third act breakup, this one does not have a third act breakup. It does have a dark moment where, like, the continuation of their relationship is in question, but they don't actually break up, and that dark moment isn't forced at all. It is most definitely that moment where they are figuring out, or at least the audience is waiting to see if the differences that these two very vastly different folk have from one another are enough to keep them apart, or just part of the glue that brings them together. Obviously, this is a romance, so we all know how it's going to go, which is why most people are so annoyed by the third act breakup. Or at least that's one of the reasons why I don't care for it unless it actually makes sense. Because, I mean, it's a romance. There is no real tension in the third act breakup because we know, as this is a romance, they will end up together. So anyway, soapbox aside, I can't tell you how much I love this. This is a pairing between a retired highwayman and a nobleman's son who wants to hire him to help him rob his father. So it is full of soft moments. There's plenty of tension, and honestly, it's one of my absolute favorite Cat Sebastian books. I have at least one more day, I think, for sightseeing while I have made it to Toronto. They estimate that most most location announcements are going to be coming up about 3 days apart, so I think I've got at least another day to get some sightseeing in. I want to squeeze in at least one sightseeing book, 2 if I can manage it. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to start off with Puck Drills and Quick Thrills by Eden Finley and Saxon James, and I'm going to be using it for the exactly 5 words in the title prompt from I believe it's the 500 point sightseeing ticket. If I have time, I will probably be picking up E.E. Ottoman's The Companion for the prompt of a single person on the cover, and I believe that one is 400 points. And I am pretty excited for both of these reads. With E.E. Ottoman, I have not read anything from them in quite a while, so I'm excited to pick them back up. And it's a very quick read. I think it was 172 pages. And with the sightseeing ones where the page count doesn't really matter because it's not part of your points, I am trying to reserve my shorter reads for this, for the sightseeing prompts. So I think that with Puck Drills and Quick Thrills, I think it is a little under 300 pages, and it is the 5th in the series. I have already read the first 4 books, so I'm just continuing the series. This one is featuring the older brother of one of the hockey players, who is also the assistant coach. He's having friction with one of his brother's teachers because he wants him to give his brother an extra chance because they have both been dealing with some really serious grief as they have lost their parents. And the 4th book, that was the book where we got the romance for the little brother and one of the other team players. And you get to see a lot of the setup for this book there, or at least for the Big Brother's character. The teacher, I think you briefly meet in little cameos throughout the fourth book, but nothing concrete. And ultimately, I believe the dynamic here is an antagonist to lovers sort of romance, and hopefully I will do better about updating as I'm reading than I did with the Queer Principles of Kit Webb. Weekends are a really bad time for me to, or at least for right now, weekends are a really bad time for me to try to do any filming. So far as bonuses go, I get the genre bonus for this being a romance, and I will be getting the queer author bonus because I believe Saxon James is openly queer. And yeah, okay, I'm really tired, so goodbye now, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Sorry, editing Val here. The audio here was a bit messed up, so I am just letting you know that it is Monday morning and I have made it through the first section of Puck Drills and Quick Thrills. I'm really, really enjoying it. There is a sprint going on right now, so I'm just doing a really quick check-in before I get back to the book. But yeah, I am loving the contentious flirting that we are already getting, and I have to say that I really enjoy a self-aware himbo, and that is how I would describe West in this book. Definitely comes across as grumpy and stressed because of his situation, but he is definitely showing his personality between the stress and the grump, and the grump doesn't sit on him naturally. And I have to say that I think it takes quite a bit of skill to be able to write a character who is both a himbo and a grump. I'm just saying. And maybe the himbo vibes are incorrect. We'll see as we go further into the book. I think I have another 6 hours left in the audiobook for this. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, but I knew I would. I love this series. I am going to get back to my book and check in again with you later. Okay, so sprints on Heather's channel just ended, and sprints are starting again in a few minutes on, I believe, Cassidy's channel. So in my book, we just got past the fake date to the reunion that turned out to be more of a real date in the one night standish kind of variety. Great fun watching the high school trauma stuff get dealt with early, because we still got another 5 hours left in this book, and they've only been on their first fake date. And so I'm excited. I'm really hoping that we get a lot of progress. Part of what I love about this series is that each book manages to cover a lot of ground in a very short amount of time. That's one of the reasons that I picked this for a sightseeing book, because I know that I burn through them. They are on the shorter size of a novel length. They're usually about 250 to 300 pages each, so fairly quick reads, and the pacing is so on point that, at least for my ADHD brain, something new is constantly happening, and it keeps me involved. Like, yes, I am audiobooking and doing other things as I go, but my mind isn't wandering which if a book is too slow paced, even when I audiobook I can like start wandering away from the story and have to like re-listen to parts that I just heard, but I missed everything that just was said. So the pacing in this book is perfect for me because it just is constantly happening, one thing after another. There's not a whole lot of dwelling on like the scenery. There's not a lot of dwelling on how people look. It's clear that they find one another attractive, but like we aren't going into ridiculously long detailed explanations of their washboard abs or anything. And it's really, I mean, there are descriptions, but they aren't like ridiculously detailed like some books can be. And the actual plot points, whether you're talking overarching plot with like the general world and what's happening in their world, or if you're talking about their relationship, those plot points are so one right after the other that it really just is perfect for me. So I love this series, and if you are an ADHDer who sometimes struggles with staying focused on what you're reading, definitely try this one out. It's great. But anyhow, I am going to get back to reading. I have finished Puck Drills and Quick Thrills, got my points all added in. That was a 500-point book. And I started The Companion by E.E. Ottoman. So that one will be a 400-point sightseeing read. I'm hoping that I can get it done before the next city prompt drops. If not, that's okay. I can just use it as soon as I finish my next city prompt. But I'm super excited to have gotten off with such a strong start. I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to do anything beyond the city prompts and that I might be hurting for the city prompts. And that still could be the case, but I am really excited with this start because I got my first city prompt done. I've done one and started a second on the sightseeing, and so I'm pretty happy about that. I also wanted to mention that tomorrow I am going to be driving up north for a doctor's appointment, so I don't know how much updating is gonna happen tomorrow. I will do at least one more update before bed today on whether or not I finished the E.E. Ottoman book and whether or not the new city prompt has dropped. I also forgot to mention the chaos stirring has started, and Bree officially announced the 5 producers who, one of them will be joining our team each leg of the readathon, are going to be agents of chaos, because until the end of each leg we won't know if our producer for that leg was working for us or against us. I'm not entirely sure what that means, in what ways they're working for us or against us, but I'm sure we'll find out probably within the next few hours, if not within the next 24 hours. Anyhow, I am excited for the chaos, although I honestly did kind of see it coming. I figured if this is based off of the reality TV show and we have people who are called producers create drama. So it makes sense that they would be causing some mayhem. And I love it. I love the chaos gremlin energy. of this readathon. I think that this is kind of the readathon built for me. Bree did mention that she built it as kind of like the perfect readathon, month-long readathon for an ADHDer, as she is one. And I'm like, ooh, yes, please. And I agree. I think that this is a great pacing and a great structure for somebody with ADHD, and I think it's also pretty great for mood reading, at least if you are okay with reading under pressure. If not, then I would say watch readathons from the sidelines instead of joining them, and partake of the fun without the pressure. I am having a great time. I am loving my reads. I gave Puck Drills and Quick Thrills a 3.5 star rating. It was a good time. I got through it really fast, and I got everything out of it that I expected and wanted. It just wasn't quite a 4 or 5 star for me. I really enjoyed it, and I am looking forward to whatever I'm going to be reading next after the companion. I'm thinking that the companion is, so far I've only read the first chapter, but I'm thinking that it is going to be a definite pace change despite how short it is. It's a historical, mid-century, polyamorous, transgender romance. And I am excited for how that's going to all play out, but we are definitely coming at a different pace than where I've been for the last couple of reads, but I'm thinking I'll probably really enjoy it. It's definitely got more of a cozy feel to it, and maybe that might be what I need right now, because as things stand, I might be a little too much in the frenetic squirrel energy zone. So a bit of a slowdown is probably exactly what the doctor ordered, and yeah. Anyhow, I will check in with you again before I go to bed, and if anything else interesting happens. So yeah, see you next check-in.
I had a wonderful, just calm sprint. 45 minutes of nothing that could have happened.
No chaos at all.
No chaos at all.
God, why is the chat going crazy? That's so weird.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So we got another chaos-inducing, Discord blowing up drop. We have the city drop for the second leg of the Amazing Readathon. So the city is Buenos Aires in Argentina, and the prompt is dual POV due to Argentina's rich history with the tango and the fact that it takes two to tango. And I had some real tussling to do with myself on whether or not I wanted to read in a jam or role-playing. So both of them are host favorites, both of them have dual POVs, and I own both of them on audio and on digital, or at least are accessible on digital. I own role-playing on digital, and In a Jam is available on Kindle Unlimited. So both of them are accessible to me in two formats, which is what works best for me, honestly. Neither one of those authors are openly queer, but role-playing does have bisexual representation, so that kind of ended up being the tiebreaker for me, since it is at least queer representation. I think that is going to be the book that I am reading for Buenos Aires. Honestly, I have been dying to read this book. I have had this in my Kindle languishing, just wasting away, gathering dust. That is what happened during the last reading sprint. We are currently on another reading sprint, and since I didn't manage to actually do any reading at all during the last reading sprint, as I was watching the Discord chat just blow up, and then and watching the videos that dropped. Oh, also, our new producer is Jess, and our team gets to have Bree on as a contributing member for this leg of the race. So that's fun. Jess has identified herself as a Loki variant, so she may be sus. We don't know. But we'll see at the end if she is reading for or against us. I think what I have gathered is that's how it's working. Like any points that she earns are going to either be added to our team or subtracted from our team. So we'll see which side the coin falls on with Jess. And Bree is always going to be contributing towards our goals. So even if Jess turns out to be reading against us, Bree's points will help counter Jess's, or we get a double whammy of bonus points for this round. I'm going to get started on role playing, and I will check in again with you soon. All right, so it is Tuesday, and I am getting ready to head out to Salt Lake to go to a doctor's appointment. And it's gonna be like an all-day affair. I am currently 13 chapters into role-playing, and I am really enjoying it. The female main character is not just kind of grumpy, she is crunchy. and I'm loving it. I am also like surprised to find that I'm connecting with her on another level, in that Maggie is half Vietnamese, but she was raised with a disconnect from her Vietnamese heritage, kind of the way that I was raised with a disconnect with my Filipino heritage. And I really have found that her little mentions here and there about how she's trying to connect with that part of her and the dissonance that can come with that as really very much something I identify with. So that is a pleasant surprise. The male main character, Aiden, is such a golden retriever. So we have a full-on black cat golden retriever pairing here. And it also is nice to see an older couple where Maggie is 47 and Aiden is 50, so they're both a little bit older than me, but much closer to me in age than, say, the 20-somethings that you usually see in romance. And so this has definitely been all kinds of nice. I'm very much enjoying this. Anyway, that is where I'm at right now. They have not met in real life yet. Currently, they are just getting to know each other online with their World of Warcraft-like game. And that's another thing that I am finding really enjoyable, because I am an old WoW head. Not so much these days, but it's an on and off again kind of relationship that I have with WoW. But it's definitely kind of making me want to use my subscription. I am enjoying myself. I probably won't get very much reading in, at least until much later tonight. Probably will check in before bed, but may not talk to you until the morning. So, see you next check-in. So it is Wednesday, the 5th of June, and I am in the middle of my read of role-playing, and I am loving it. The start is pretty slow, so if you don't like slow burn, this isn't the one for you. But really, there's no other way to do a romance where one of the main characters is demisexual, and to honor that, because this is definitely one of those, we have to build our friendship first and then we can catch feelings and, feelings. And I'm honestly really loving this. I'm loving the demi rep. I'm loving the pansexual rep or bi rep. He hasn't settled on a label for himself. I love the late in life, getting to understand yourself representation, and I'm really loving seeing these two interact. Like, this is the most classic black cat golden retriever pairing I think I have ever seen, and it's beautiful. I love it. So I'm having a great time. They have definitely settled into their friendship. They are just now starting to catch feelings and freak out about it because they established that dating isn't a thing they would do. He asked her to go to the wedding with him that he needs the date for. She surprisingly shot him down. But I mean, not surprising in the moment. It made sense because she was busy panicking about how she has feelings. And he panicked that he was putting undue pressure on her. He now, a few days later, has just figured out that, yeah, maybe he has caught feelings. And that confusion of, I don't feel attraction, but wait, maybe I do. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I'm having a great time reading this book. Part of me is sad that I took so long to read it, but part of me is so glad that I get to do it as part of this readathon, because Team Romance has decided to make this a group buddy read, and it's so fun. It's so fun to see all the different people reacting to the different parts of the book as they go, and chit-chatting back and forth about how great this book is and how much we're enjoying it. And I am very, very glad that I was able to get this on audiobook. I wouldn't say this is the best audiobook I've ever listened to, mainly because I don't know if this is a thing on the producing end of things or if this is something on the narrator's part, but every time there's like a natural pause, it feels like it goes on for a beat or two too long. Like, I'm expecting it to switch to a new point of view, or at least a new chapter, when we're in the female protagonist point of view. And we don't have those awkward pauses on the male protagonist point of view. So again, this could just be like an awkward technical issue with like how the sound files transition from the original recording, or it could have just been actually recorded this way, but it took some adjusting to. So I am definitely switching back and forth between the digital copy and the audio copy, but since I am able to have it with the audiobook, I am able to listen to it while I am doing things like dishes and cleaning and traveling, or phone games. and audiobooks really are what is most accessible for me and my reading style, because if I can listen to a book and keep busy, I definitely do a much better job of getting through the books. And as speed is definitely a factor in this readathon, every time one of the books that I'm picking has an audiobook, I'm ecstatic. So yeah. I have also been reading here and there, like a chapter or two of my E.E. Ottoman sightseeing book that I started on the last leg. So I'm thinking I will probably be able to arrive in Buenos Aires, and shortly thereafter put in my first sightseeing book and potentially get a second sightseeing book in. If I can get to a second sightseeing book, I'm going to be ecstatic. But I also am super happy with just getting to the city on time and managing to get even one sightseeing book in. So, again, really happy with my progress, happy with my current pacing. We're still early days, but I think that this is a really good rhythm and it should go well for the rest of the month. Here's hoping. All right, I will check in again with you soon. See you next one. So we are officially at the wedding portion of the book, and Maggie has just swept to Aiden's rescue. She hasn't done anything yet, but I cannot wait. I cannot wait. If she does not unleash her amazing bog witch abilities on his family, this will go from a favorite of the year to disappointment of the year. But I have faith. I have faith. So far, this is shaping up to be a favorite of the year. And I cannot wait. She has just appeared at the wedding and swept Aiden up from the depths of despair. And I can't wait. I'm so excited. Okay, it's official. Haven't even finished the book yet. Definitely going to be a favorite of the year. I am so happy. I'm so excited. I mean, there's always the chance that things could go awry and I won't love it in the end as much as I do in this moment, but that was perfection and I am so not sad. All right, I will check in again with you soon. This man's mother does not deserve the title. I hate her. I hate her so much. And she deserves to be cut off for life. And frankly, I really hope that is where things are going, because I hate her. Oh my god, I hate this woman. Okay, I don't think I'm capable of anything but ranting, so I'm gonna leave it there. Check in again with you soon. So I have finally finished reading. I say finally because it's been like less than 24 hours or just about 24 hours. But I have finished reading Role Playing and it was fantastic. I loved it. It is definitely a favorite of the year and I'm so happy I finally read it, and I am definitely enjoying reading it as a buddy read with team romance. Good times have been had. There was another detour earlier today, and we needed to post on social media shout outs to our favorite local bookstore. I went with Under the Umbrella Bookstore because I consider them local to me, even if I have to travel a couple of hours to get there. The only bookstore within this area really is just like the book section at Walmart. I don't think it counts as a bookstore. You can definitely count Walmart as book shopping, but it is not a bookstore. So the most local to me bookstore would be either Under the Umbrella, King's English, or I heard there is a new queer bookstore in Provo, and I know I saw on Crystal's Bookish Life that there's a romance bookstore somewhere in Utah, but I'm not sure exactly where it is. I'll have to do some research and check them out. So yeah, I went with Under the Umbrella Bookstore. I shouted them out on Instagram and TikTok and Threads. And I'm still having a great time with the Amazing Readathon, and I am picking the companion back up to get my sightseeing in as much as possible. I'm not sure what I'll read after that. Maybe another E.E. Ottoman book, because I am still wanting to read The Doctor's Discretion. And that's definitely amongst my shorter books, novellas. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where the reading adventure goes from here. All right, so I have finished reading The Companion, and I loved it. I thought it was beautiful, and like the thing that kept like making me go, oh, was how blatantly honest all of the characters were. Like every time you yell at a character in a book about how you wish they would just go ahead and say the thing, there's not even like a pause or a hesitation with these folks. They just say the thing. They just come right out with it and say it. And it's fantastic. I loved it. I don't remember if I told you what it was about, but it is a mid-century polyamorous trans romance between two trans women and a trans man. It's just kind of fantastic. Two of them are writers, and one of them is an artist in multiple media. There is farming, there is hiking, there's lots of fucking, and it's all just kind of wonderful. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars, and I am definitely looking forward to reading more from E.E. Ottoman. Now I just need to figure out what I'm reading next, which I honestly am pulling a blank on. So I'll have to check back in with you again once I figure that out. Alright, so I am reading The World's Greatest First Love for my next sightseeing book. I'm going to use it for the uses all 5 vowels prompt on the cover. I mean, with that many words in the title, I mean, it's hard not to. So the full title is The World's Greatest First Love, The Case of Ritsu Onodera. And it is a second chance romance where 2 kids who knew each other in high school meet back up as adults in the publishing world, specifically in the shoujo manga publishing world. This is Ritsu. He is the one who was madly in love with his senpai. He went from being wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, and sweet and innocent to being a little bit of a twisted pessimist. And now he finds himself having to edit romantic shoujo manga and dealing with authors, and it's all very fun so far. I had forgotten some of the stuff, like when he very first walks in to his new department. This is the scene that he is met with. And it's because they're towards the end of their print cycle. And the first day after their cycle ends, he comes in to work and doesn't recognize the place because this is now what he's greeted with. And it is adorable. I really loved the anime. I don't know how well it's going to age because of how old it is, but at the very least, I can read 3 volumes of the manga and see what I think. This one is going to be, like I said, uses all 5 vowels in the cover prompt, and then I am going to use the second volume for the name in the title, and I don't know what I can use the third volume for, but we'll see. And who knows, maybe I will leave the third volume for another time. But anyhow, I am going to hurry and get a few more pages in before the sprint ends. Bree is sprinting with Zoe, and the last time Bree joined us on the 3rd day of a leg on an evening sprint, she initiated chaos. So I'm hoping to manage at least 1 of the volumes, if not 2 of the volumes tonight. But we'll see if she drops the link for the 3rd leg. Good morning. It is Friday, the 7th of June, and we got another city prompt drop. So, I will update you on the manga in just a minute, but so I've been scrambling. I'm still in my in my nightshirt, so yeah, there's that. So the city for the 3rd leg of the Amazing Readathon is Berlin, Germany, and the prompt is movement. So there needs to be a word in the title that shows movement. So oh wait, no, it's not. I keep thinking that this is one of Bree's favorites, but because she keeps plugging it, but it's not one of her favorites. So I won't get GRC for this. That's okay. So basically, the longest book that I have with movement in the title is Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrane. And so that's 368 pages, and I get to double it for this leg. And it is queer. It is queer. But the author is queer, and it's romance. I get both bonuses for this. And so it is about 12 hours long on the audiobook, which is what I have. So I'm going to listen to that all day long, because I am going out of town and going to be in a cabin with my husband and his family for the weekend. So I don't want to miss out on getting my points in for my team with this prompt. And I don't know if I'm going to have internet access, and if I am, like, how well it's going to work. So I'm gonna try and get it finished today so that I can get it turned in, and then any bonus reading that I do, any sightseeing reading that I do, I will try to turn in, if I can, before the 3rd leg ends. If it doesn't, then that just means I have that many more that I get to turn in for the next leg. So it won't be any losses, and I will at the very least get my city prompt done. So that's the plan. I will check back in with you throughout the day. We'll see how far I get. This is also going to be the last day of this vlog, and I probably will not have time to vlog or privacy to vlog while I am up in the cabin with the family. So I will probably start the next vlog on Monday and just let you know what I managed to read over the weekend at that point. So yeah, wish me luck. So I completely forgot that I still needed to update you on what I finished reading last night. So I finished the 1st and 2nd volumes of The World's Greatest First Love, The Case of Ritsu Onodera. And I was afraid that this was going to be the case, but they definitely do not age well. It is solidly in the dubcon territory, which, you know, is pretty frequent, especially in older manga and anime. I don't quite understand it, but that's just totally the case. I finished the first book and it had some dubcon that I wasn't sure about, and I wasn't sure if it continued in their interactions, but it did in fact continue in the second book. But I know that we move on to another couple in the third book, so I don't think there will be much, if any, dubcon. If I remember correctly, this is the couple that I like the most. It's the okay. It's this couple. Where the smaller guy is actually 30 and the bigger guy is 21, and it's a very much a black cat golden retriever pairing, which I absolutely love. I can't get enough of it. So I probably, if nothing else, because I did buy this and because I love that couple, will finish this book. I did start it. I will probably finish this book, and then it's probably going to be unhauled as soon as I'm done with it. Just because it's not something I'm going to be revisiting. And if somebody else wants it, good for them. I'm excited for Here We Go Again, and I will check in again with you shortly. All right, so today is going to be a cleaning and audiobook day because I've got so many things to get done, and my book happens to be an audiobook, so it's perfect. So I have just finished doing dishes, and I need to start on trashes and bathrooms, and maybe eventually get to the front room. So, exhaustion has already set in, but such is the life of the chronically ill. Yay. Anyway, I am taking a moment to eat lunch, make and eat lunch, and then I will be getting back to things. But I wanted to do a quick check-in with this book. I am really glad that I went with the audiobook on this one because it's sad, and audiobooks help me push through the sad. I know that there's going to be fun, and I'm sure that I don't know. I'm pretty sure there better be fun. Basically, I don't know. I already knew going into this that it was gonna be a sad one because the premise is sad. But, I'm super sad. I haven't hit the waterworks part, but I'm afraid that there will be tears before the end of the day. Just thinking about it, I'm getting a little misty. So yeah, basically we've met both of our protagonists and their former English teacher from high school who is dying from cancer, and also on top of that has just broken his foot, so he's having mobility issues on top of all of the cancer stuff, and he has just told them that essentially they are his family. His only biological family is a homophobic brother and his wife and children. So that leaves these two, who have followed in his footsteps as teachers and have been on a 4-year journey with him on this whole cancer business. But he now has 3 months to live because everything has metastasized. And so, yeah, super, super sad. And he is a wonderful old queer man. And I was hoping that it would have a bit of a call out to Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. And we started off with Abba, so that's a good start. And now we have 2 younger queers escorting an older queer across the country. So definitely has Priscilla, Queen of the Desert feels. Now I need to watch that movie. It's been ages. It's one of my absolute favorites. If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's amazing. I still am keeping my fingers crossed for at least a drag queen encounter. I know that Alison Cochrane is really good at turning those emotional screws, and it's showing at the beginning of this already. Okay, so basically we are at the sad beginning, and I'm hoping for the fun part to be showing up sometime soon. And yeah, I'll check in again with you soon. Well, I am only 36% in, and it is about 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, and I still have 8 hours left in this audiobook. I did stop in at the local coffee shop to get some decaf coffee so I can trick myself into thinking I'm getting energy without disrupting my sleep patterns. And I picked up some ube crackle cookies. I am pretty excited to try these. So yeah, I'm still on the fence on how I feel about Alison Cochrane's writing. I really enjoyed The Charm Offensive, like, a lot. And Kiss Her Once for me was okay. And I think maybe part of why I'm having a hard time with this is because we are leaning a little bit more into how things went in Kiss Her Once for me than we did with The Charm Offensive, because we have this in the past event that is slowly being revealed, and really it's not that dramatic. It doesn't need to be slowly revealed. It really can just be laid all out there. And I don't know. I know some people really love that kind of thing, but I super don't. It just irritates me. I think my need for a quick clip pace is maybe getting in the way for me to enjoy this book. But I have already got this far in, and I'm not hating it, so I'm not going to DNF it, but I really, really, really hope I can manage to get a lot further in this than I'm afraid I will. I'll check in again with you at least one more time, but I am sweaty and gross from cleaning house all day and going to hit the shower and then dig into my goodies and see what else I can do while listening to this book. But yeah, check in again with you as soon as I have something to update you on. All right, so I completely forgot to close out the vlog last night, so I'm doing it this morning. Getting ready to head out. I got most of the way through Here We Go Again, but did not finish it, so I will attempt to finish it on the drive up to Palisades and get it posted before we lose internet access. But so far I am thinking this is probably going to settle at about a 3. I have come to the conclusion that one of the reasons why I didn't care for the Kiss Her Once for Me book, and is probably the same reason that I'm not able to really settle into this one, and it is how much it's driving me like bugfuck crazy that one of the characters is so set on thinking that just because somebody doesn't react the way you expect them to a certain situation means that clearly they don't care. As if there's a set way to grieve, as if there's a set way to be sad, and it's just a little like over the top controlling for me. So, and it's just toxic, and I don't particularly enjoy it. We'll see if the dynamic changes. I do appreciate that the other character is pushing back and defending herself, but I very much am hating every moment that I spend in Rosemary's head. I don't mind being in Logan's head at all. Logan, even though Logan does not react to things the way that I would, Logan makes sense to me, and Logan doesn't demand that other people react the way she wants them to, unlike Rosemary. So, we'll see how I feel about it in the end, but I'm guessing this is going to land on a 3-star. But when we get around to the next vlog, I'll let you know how I felt about it in the end. See you next video.
Stars shining bright above me. Night breezes seem to whisper that you. Sycamore tree, dream a little dreamer.
Are you done? Can I talk now? Maybe. Ma'am. She has stories. Okay, so I just barely finished. Alright, so I just barely finished. What am I reading? Role-playing. So I just barely finished reading Role-playing, and it has been fantastic. Most definitely a favorite of the year. Really? They're gremlins. Absolute, complete, total and utter gremlins. But I am definitely going with... I'm definitely going... Ma'am. Come here. Well, come tell your story to my face. Testing, testing, testing. Seeing if my microphone survived the fall. Do 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 do. Bop bop bop. Right, so I settled on a bleh, bleh, bleh. The blah 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 blah. What's the word? Oh.
Connection.
My brain connection isn't working.